How do you be original? Do you be less basic? What if I like being basic? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Unusual Angie, and this channel is where we look at all the things you probably should already know, but sometimes just don't. I'm not sure if this is everywhere, but back in my day, everyone wore the same exact outfit. A black North Face or Columbia jacket, leggings, and Uggs. And of course, me being me, I refused to wear Uggs because it made me unique by not wearing Uggs. Even though they were comfy and soft and warm, and in Minnesota it just gets so cold. So here I was, Uggless, only because I wanted to prove to no one really, because no one cared, that I wasn't wearing Uggs. And this I found myself doing with a lot of things. What if I had just let myself get a pair of Uggs? And sure, would have matched everybody else and followed that dress code, but I would have liked it. And I ended up having such a hatred for Uggs, like an unnecessary hatred, because I wanted to be against them and not be like everyone else, and yet I loved them. And by denying myself that love, I wasn't being myself. Don't prevent yourself from doing something because you don't want to seem like you're everybody else. That's not being original. In fact, when you're going away from something that makes you happy, you're being a copy of something else. Follow your own true ideals. Whatever comes out of that is going to be original. Because when you're being true to your own identity, that means you're being you, and nobody in this world can be you. And I know we hear that all the time, but it's so true, and it's so crazy how easy we can forget it and just like kind of put it in the back of our mind as like some weird idea from a cartoon. So how do we stay original and be ourselves? So before continuing on in this idea of originality, if you are new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. I post twice a week, every week. Go on this path with me of trying to figure out different things that we probably should have already realized, that people have been telling us for years anyway, or maybe nobody's been telling us. Come with me, we'll go through tons of different topics together, and if you don't want to miss any of those videos, click the bell button down below as well. I'll also pop up my social media on the screen so you can see me there and we can interact that way. In this day and age, it's kind of hard not to be completely present in each other's lives, you know? And also, if you do like this video, make sure to comment down below. Tell me why you struggle with originality. Why is it hard for you? I know that it's been hard for me sometimes, just because when you get lost in other people's ideas, our idea of originality becomes warped. Or just let me know what you think of the video. Okay, now let's go. So today we're actually going to start with an exercise. Kind of exciting, just a good way to get the original juices flowing and kind of bring out your own personal ideas. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take actually a Robert Frost book, and I already did one of them. I'll show you my like little example, but it's this funny art form of just blotting out words, and you make your own creation, your own story, your own poems from doing this. So I started by just taking words in this poem that I loved and creating something new. And sure, it might not be Robert Frost worthy, but it's my own voice. So sometimes we can start by just taking something that we actually have already heard or already seen or already done and just make it better or make it our own. We're gonna start together with this poem right here. It's called Rose Pogonias. I know this is kind of not my favorite, but it's summer and I thought it'd be easy just to kind of split up the first paragraph of it. As you can see, here we go. So I want you to take a look at it first and just read it by yourself. Think about all the words in there that really kind of strike a chord with you. Do you love the word trees? Do you love the word the? Do you love the word sun? Whatever word speaks to you, pick those ones out And then go with either a Sharpie or a marker. I don't know if you want to write the poem down on a separate piece of paper. You can also print it out online. I'll put a link down below for the poem. And then go with a Sharpie, or you can go with tape, that's what I did, and just start erasing the words that you don't want. And suddenly you end up with a poem of your own. It's just getting you onto your own page, getting you inside your own head. And I actually did the Tuft of Flowers all the way through. I can read you what I ended up with. In the dew before the sun, before I came to view the leveled scene, I listened for the breeze. But he had gone his way, alone, as all must be, together or apart. So, and I'll also put this poem up online. Also put the original poem for the Tuft of Flowers up online. And you guys can just like check this out. You can do it with so many different things, newspapers, books. Create your own stories, create your own ideas. It can be just like this process of thinking about things that really speak to you. So now that we finished that exercise, why don't we actually talk about what it means to be original, or what it means to have an original idea. So I actually looking into this for a little bit now, and I read this awesome book called Steal Like an Artist. The 10 Things Nobody Told You About Being Creative. And it's this awesome book that just kind of talks you through the creative process, why it's so important to not steal, but, well, yeah, steal. But it's not taking something without putting your own twist to it. So it's really like being inspired. And they have these amazing ideas about finding your inspiration tree. And that just means pick somebody that you're inspired by. Maybe it's Selena Gomez. Then go up the tree. So who's she inspired by? Who inspired them? And so on and so forth. And then if you do that with everyone that you're inspired by, you're gonna end up with all of these new ideas that you can fit together in a way that only you can do, because that's the beauty of having our own minds and our own special touches to everything. We make original things just by seeing how they fit together. So say I'm inspired by Selena Gomez, but I'm also inspired by Monet. So maybe, you know, one other person is inspired by Selena Gomez and Monet. But maybe I'm inspired by Selena Gomez and Monet and Mario. And maybe you can't find all of those different likes together in somebody else, because we're all our own. So when we actually follow the things that we like, we end up with original ideas. If I had just worn Uggs and been so much more on board with wearing them, I could have found my own fashion with them. If I had taken the Uggs, something that I actually liked, and paired them with a dress. I know that's weird, but whatever, that's my own style then, because nobody else was wearing a dress. Or if I had worn Uggs and ripped jeans and a fluffy sweater, nobody else was wearing that. You find your own style by taking all your different likes and putting them together. You can find your own original ideas by taking your different likes and your different inspirations and putting them together. Another part where he talks about copy. Humans can't actually copy something. We're unable to make perfect copies. So when we're copying other people, we end up with something that is our own. We can't actually copy them. So by stealing like an artist, you're really just copying but adding your own element, like kind of like a soup. So like you're adding your own element and then you accidentally hit like the X. Oh wait, that was on purpose, wasn't it? The Powerpuff Girls? Yeah, it was. It's like accident but purpose. That's what the recipe called. Okay, so that example. When you're cooking and you're adding all the things in the recipe and then suddenly you're like, wow, rosemary would go so well with this. So you add a little bit of rosemary because rosemary is your favorite. And then you're like, wow, wait a second. I would like to add wine with this because why not add wine to cooking? And then suddenly it's your own piece. It's your own masterpiece. It's your own original recipe. How original recipes happen. You just kind of trial and error with different things that you enjoy. So being original is so much more than just coming up with something out of the blue. And most people who are actual originals or who are actually dominating in their field aren't the ones who came up with the original idea. So Adam Grant, he wrote this book called The Originals, and in it he talks about how originals are not always the first person to come to the table with the idea. How Warby Parker, who's amazing, also my glasses from Warby Parker, love them so much, the first ones to actually come up with the idea of selling glasses online. But they made their company grow so much because they saw what everyone else was doing. They saw the glitches. They waited for the public to be ready to buy glasses online. And after all of that time, when the table was kind of already sat, people were already sitting there, they came in with the turkey. No more cooking references. I know, no more food. I'm done, I promise, I think I promise. That's the point of being original. We don't need to make random ideas from scratch to make something wonderful or great. Being original is just staying true to yourself. Don't let the UGG effect bring you down. Also, on that note, if you like being basic, because I like being basic, be basic. It's okay. It's fine. Well, sort of. You might get made fun of. But be who you are and don't settle for anything less. And if that's being basic, that's being woke, be you, dude. Be you. I mean, be respectful, but be you. Okay, so that's it for originality. Let me know what you thought of this video. Comment down below. And also let me know what your poems turned out like, or the exercise for you turned out like. I'll put those social medias down below again. You can tag me, you can DM me, just let me know what you did. Let's compare notes. I know you kind of already saw what I did, but I'd love to see other people's visions or views of that same poem. Bye guys! See you on Monday!